Alright, welcome back to AFC News. I've got a little bit to talk about today. There's a few talking points, and we will start with the announcement of Bruno G to Arsenal. We've just made a statement, we've released a little article thing about it. If you want to go watch the announcement video, you can. But yes, Bruno G to Arsenal has been officially announced by the club. Okay. Cool. I was gonna give the article a read. Usually they put like a bit of text. There's a few other things. Is it over here? No. So the website is still cooked. That's just great. Normally, whenever a player gets announced, there's quite a lot to read, but there is nothing. That's great. That's just great. Let's see. Have Arsenal put anything on our Twitter? Let's see. So there's the video. I'm obviously not going to show it. If I click that, oh, here we go. Here we go. So if I click this link, it works. All right. Bruno Guimaraes joins Arsenal. We're delighted to announce that Brazilian international Bruno Guimaraes has joined us from Newcastle on a long-term contract. Bruno joins us having established himself as one of the most influential players in the Premier League. Agree with that. 28-year-old began his professional career in his home country, making his senior debut for Sao Paulo-based side Audax in 2015 before joining Atlético Paranaense 2 years later. Sorry if I pronounced any of that wrong. During his time at Atletico, Bruno established himself as one of Brazil's brightest young midfielders, helping the club win 4 major trophies. Okay, I didn't know that. Before earning a move to French side Lyon in January 2020. Now, I remember we were actually interested in him when he was at Lyon. Like, I forgot to mention that when we agreed to sign him, but yeah, that was a saga that was going on when Newcastle signed him in 2022. Across 2 impressive seasons at Ligue 1, Bruno further enhanced his reputation as one of Europe's most outstanding midfield talents. Yeah, and that's why we wanted him. You can watch the video as well there. Bruno joined Newcastle in January 2022 and went on to make nearly 200 appearances during 4.5 seasons at St James's Park. A commanding presence in midfield, he played a pivotal role in Newcastle's Carabao Cup triumph in 2025. We know all about that. And helped the club secure qualification for the UEFA Champions League across 2 seasons. An established international, Bruno has made 48 appearances for Brazil, and he represented his country in the biggest of stages of the game. He was part of Brazil's squad in the recent FIFA World Cup and has also featured in the Copa America and won a gold medal at the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo. Sporting director Andrea Berta said, "We're delighted to welcome Bruno Guimaraes to our club." Wait, is my audio working? Yeah, I just want to make sure. Bruno is a player with great mentality and great quality who brings some strong leadership to our squad. With Bruno joining us, we are further strengthening the heart of our team as we have all seen. Bruno can play as a defensive midfielder and as a box-to-box playmaker. Completely agree with that. I talked about that in my video when we got the deal done. He combines quality with quantity. He provides goals and assists for his team every year. That's one thing I didn't mention. He scored 9 goals for Newcastle this season. I didn't even realise that. Like, I wonder how high up he was in Bruno's top scorers list. Scored 9 goals. Like, that's actually kind of crazy. Team stats. Oh, sorry, not team stats. Player stats. Yeah, so he was their top scorer in the Premier League as a number 8. I didn't even know that. That's crazy. And he was joint with the top 4 for the most non-penalty goals. That is actually mental. I can't believe that. I doubt that Fotmob would say that he's an Arsenal player yet. No, it just still says rumoured for 87.5 million euros. Okay. Be here. Just close that. Where were we? Oh yeah. Bruno will allow Mikel to further develop our playing style and will also increase our internal competitiveness, which is essential for maintaining the standards required when we're aiming to win major trophies. Bruno will wear the number 39 shirt for the club and join up with his new teammates immediately. Everyone at Arsenal warmly welcomes Bruno and his family to the club. The transfer is subject to the completion of regulatory process. Okay. So, yeah. Bruno is an Arsenal player. Will it let me click these other articles yet? It still will not. Would have been nice to hear some quotes from him. Oh, this one we can. 13 things to know about Bruno. May as well read up on it for a bit. We may have seen Bruno faces down the years. There are several things you might not know. Shirt collector. Oh, I have seen Bruno's shirt collection. I have actually seen that. It's kind of crazy. I think he's got Gabriel's shirt and he's got Saka's. I think I saw those. Any years of hurt? Yeah, we know he won the Carabao Cup at Newcastle, winning a 70-year drought. Our latest Brazilian. Brazilian stars are no stronger to the N5 postcode. We've had 15 come to Highbury and the Emirates during our history. I'm surprised there's not more than that. Only 15. With 5 being signed by Mikel Arteta alone. That's crazy. In August 2026, Bruno became the 16th to sign for Arsenal. Okay, so it's 16 now. Bruno the Spaniard. Well, Bruno adding his name to the Brazilians. Could he have been joining our Spanish? Oh, right. I didn't know that. Okay. Magic 39. Yeah, I've heard about this. Represents his father's taxi number when working in Brazil. That's cute. Gold medal. Yeah, we read about that a little bit. Bruno Guimaraes. Bruno could have been standing himself on another podium of a different sport. If his mother had her way, he wanted her son to be a swimmer instead of a footballer. Wow. That's crazy. Bro, I've seen him do that before. I didn't know that was why. Confidence to shine. Until his youth team coach. Okay. I used to get so worked up at night before football that I'd have stomach pains and start throwing up. Get headaches and fever sometimes. And be able to fall asleep. Yeah, alright. Interesting. Making sacrifices. Bruno looked at every opportunity he had to play professional football, but ultimately told no. This meant he moved away from home to a new city. Oh yeah. Hometown glory, and then you moved. Interesting. And then we know all about the Leon days. We know all about the Leon days facing Arsenal. He loves to fucking play Arsenal, man. This guy. Like, before we signed him, I genuinely hated this guy. Fisherman's friend. A few hobbies, including fishing. Cool. Well, let me fucking load. It still won't let me load. That's the article I wanted to read the most. I wanted to hear his quotes, but I guess not. Alright, well, I think that's going to be it. Have to be it on Bruno. I've already talked a lot about him in my, in my other video after we agreed the fee, but you can go check that out if you want. But there is some more Arsenal news that I wanted to touch on. Nothing as concrete, but still some very, very interesting stuff. Here, maybe there'll be some more quotes here. Bruno speaking on the text message you received from Declan Rice. Declan sent me a message, come here and please no more fights, now we're friends. I was happy he messaged me, but the midfield we have here, my point of view, is one of the best in Europe. You know ball, man. You know ball. Comments. Maybe these other accounts have posted some more. I'm ready to be your warrior. You fucking better be. Because you're ready to be Newcastle's warrior. Yeah, there's that. After years of trying, Mikel Arteta finally goes, man. Yeah, that was what I was talking about before when we were trying to get him from Lyon. So it's a 4-year deal with an option for a further year. Okay, so he got a long-term contract, which makes sense. And yeah, that's it. From now, Arsenal, that's the usual aggregator. Is there any more on this one? I want to put my name in the club's history, and one day when I leave, I want players to come here and say, I want to do exactly what Bruno did with the club. Wow, so he wants to be a fucking legend. Fairs, man. Fairs. Yeah, we already saw that. Alright, I think that's it. I think we're all good for now. But yeah, let's talk about some other things, because we'll start with Kenan. It's been ramping up that apparently we're interested in Kenan Yildiz. Now, nothing concrete has happened. We haven't approached Juventus. It's just in the very, very early stages. We are starting to think about Kenan Yildiz. Apparently, it could be possible, and this would explain the purchase of some player who plays in the same area of Turkey. Knows full well that any offer must be listened to and then evaluated. Yeah, because I think he recently signed a new deal at Juventus, which means they would need to, get a pretty decent fee in order to sell. Now, I completely forgot to put Yildiz in my tier list was it yesterday or the day before? When I was doing every player that we could potentially be interested in. I completely forgot about Yildiz. Yildiz is a player that I've signed in FIFA before. I actually do like him, and there has been rumours here and there that Arsenal could go for him in the future. Now, in terms of what I said yesterday about we just need someone who will bolster our attack, doesn't really matter about profiles, because I think that there are other ways we could fix the team. I think in that aspect, Yildiz would be a great signing, because I think he's a quality player. He wasn't very good in the World Cup. I remember against Australia, he came on in the second half and didn't do anything. Didn't really have any impact at all at the World Cup. But I think he's a very, very good player. He's been doing it in the Champions League. The only thing is, it's one of those signings where we'd have to change quite a bit about the dynamics of our team. And it's not even that he can't play as a left-sided forward. He's just not an out-and-out winger. And we would need to change some things around in order for us to make the best of him. We'd probably need to play a facilitator up front like Havertz, or maybe sign someone else. I doubt we'd be able to get Yildiz and Alvarez, but, we'd have to do something there. And then we'd probably have to increase the width of our defence. We'd need Calafiori or Hincapié to stay further wide to allow him to go on the inside. So, look, I'm open to it. If Arsenal decide to go and get Yildiz, I would be very happy. I think he's a very, very talented player. I'm a big fan. But I'd probably rather us go for a genuine out-and-out winger. Even if the player's not as good as Yildiz, it would be easier to implement them into the squad. And I do still have questions on whether or not Arteta is able to change the dynamics, because we don't have an out-and-out winger now, and we still play like we do. So, yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm open to it. I'm very, very open to it, and we'll see if this has legs. We'll see if anything comes from this. We get all these rumours all the time, so probably not. But I thought I may as well report. Who even are La Stampa? They're an Italian news agency. Alright. Interesting. What are the comments saying? Doesn't mean we're going to sell Yildiz. Play as a number 10. Yeah, because he's better as a number 10, I think. Why haven't they announced Bruno G? Okay, yeah. Alright. Now, Gabriel Jesus. There's been talks about this for a few days, but 4 hours ago, Fabrizio came out with this. Gabriel Jesus' new agent met with Napoli today, as he also represents manager Allegri. Gabriel open to Serie A move. Arsenal only consider permanent exit, as we fucking should, because I'm tired of this bullshit where we're just going to loan everyone out for 3 seasons before we sell them. So it's good that we're actually looking to just get some cash and end the relationship. There are more clubs in race. Napoli also need exits. Lukaku to leave before. Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So they think their squad is a bit too crowded if they go for him. If this happens, I'll talk more about Gabriel Jesus and do a mini tribute video, because I've always loved Gabriel Jesus as a player. But this is something that needs to happen. We just need to get him off the books. If we look at Arsenal's wage structure, I mean, I don't know exactly what his contract is off the top of my head, but yeah, 265k a week. That is too much money for a guy that contributes as little as Jesus does at his current situation. You know, we really need to get that off the books. He's still got another year left on his contract. I think we have to look to move him on before now. It's good that we're talking with Napoli. As for his fit, I think he'd actually do quite well at Napoli if he's able to stay fit. You know, the league isn't at a as high intensity. I think he'd do quite well there. I think he'd be very good in this area, and I hope he is, because at his best, I'm a massive fan of Jesus. I think he's an excellent player, and yeah, we definitely have to look to move him on. It's well time. I mean, he's our third highest earner, and if you look at the players surrounding him, excusing Kai Havertz, you know, it's clear that he has to go. It's very, very clear that he has to go. Now there is one more thing. This is just mad. Absolutely mad. Hand of Arsenal reckons Cristian Romero is open to a move to Arsenal. Now I think it was yesterday or the day before. We got reports from I think it was Gunner Blog. Let me find it. I believe it was Gunner Blog. He released an article about how we were eyeing up a move for Romero. Here we go. In the New York Times. Atletico Madrid oh, piss off. Bro, I don't want to I don't want to log in. Hang on. Please tell me it's just linked to my Apple account. Sorry for the, you know, unprofessionalism. But, two-factor authentication. Imagine if I do all this and I haven't even linked it to my Apple account. Oh, I have. Okay, sorry about that. So, Atletico Madrid renew Cristian Romero interest. Arsenal also interested in the Tottenham captain. So, this is basically just going on that Atletico Madrid have renewed their interest, and they came in with a bid as well. And I think Tottenham rejected it. I'm not exactly too sure. I'm not keeping up with the Tottenham front. Spurs are unaware of Arsenal's interest and would be unwilling to consider selling the captain to their North London rivals, leaving Atleti and Inter Milan as likelier candidates. Inter have already verbally agreed in principle a fee with Spurs for the Argentine international, around 40 million euros, but are yet to agree personal terms with the player. Atleti, who were coached by Romero's compatriot Diego Simeone, held a firm interest in Romero last summer and have now made the 29-year-old an active target again. Arsenal also admire Romero, but chances of contentious move across North London appear slim, with Spurs considering any deal with their fierce rivals to be a non-starter. And then it goes on about Sol Campbell for a bit. Gallas. Romero was likely to leave Tottenham this summer after 4 years at the club. Following Atleti's initial interest, Spurs announced the centre-half had signed a new contract to 2029 in August last year, days after he was officially named club captain following the departure of Heung-min Son. However, he attracted criticism during a dismal season, which Spurs only avoided Premier League relegation on the final day, not least for 2 red cards. Okay, so this was the original thing. It's like a nothing report. Like, it doesn't really mean anything. It was just, this is a player that Arsenal could be interested in. And obviously we get stuff like that all the time, so I didn't really make much of it. But then Hand of Arsenal is coming out with this, that he's open to a move. And if we choose to sign him and he wants to join, that's when you start getting, you know, in the realm of possibilities. Now again, we haven't even put a bid in. We haven't even approached the player. Like, nothing has happened yet. It's still in the very, very early stages. But because of the headline that Tottenham's captain might want to join Arsenal, like, I just had to talk about it because, look, I'm not as critical on Romero as other people. Like, I've always thought the hate on him was a little bit too much. Like, yeah, he's very rash, and his red card record, especially in big games, isn't good, and I definitely would not want that at Arsenal. But I think he's a very, very good defender, and I think with Saliba out injured, we could use his ability on the ball, because Gabriel on the ball, let's not lie, he's not, like, amazing. Like, he's good, but he's not great. And I think adding someone like Romero, this is why I wanted Arsenal to go in for John Stones, because even though he's injury prone, he's a joke on the ball, and he would be able to help without Saliba. Now, the only reason I probably wouldn't pursue this is because since he's at Tottenham, they would ask for a much larger fee. Like, we probably, like, if they value him at like 40 million, which I think is what the article said, they'd want at minimum 50 from us. 50, like maybe even 60. And I don't think he's worth that. You know, how old is he? Let's have a look. How old is Romero? I think he's like 25. He's like around 25 or something. 28. He's 28. Fuck, I thought he was younger than that. 28. Because how long has he been at Spurs now? He's had 6 seasons at Spurs. 1 season at Atalanta where he was really good, and then they signed him. I remember, weren't we interested in him? Because it was around when we signed Ben White, and then Spurs fans were like doing victory laps about getting him when we got Ben White. So I don't know, I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, 2 red cards and 9 yellows in the Prem this season. Can I check his overall? That would probably be on Transfermarkt. If I go on Transfermarkt. Oh, there we go. Oh, bro, what is going on with the technical difficulties? I don't know, man. But anyway, yeah, he's 28 years old. I don't really think he'd be worth the money. The only reason I'd consider it is because it would wind them up. Could you imagine the same captain that they have backed for how long when everyone's grilled him? Could you imagine if he went to Arsenal? Like, it wouldn't be as bad as Sol Campbell, because he's not as good as Sol Campbell, and because they've had a terrible season and they're already looking to sell him. Whereas the whole thing with Sol Campbell was he was saying he was going to stay, and then it was like this crazy scenario. I couldn't imagine what it was like. I wish I was alive. So it wouldn't be quite like that, but they would still get so rattled. And imagine if he like scored against them. Like, it would be, they would get even more rattled than the Eze stuff. So, look, whilst I personally wouldn't do it, I think it would be very, very funny. It would be so, so funny. Before I finish, let me just check one last time if I can read those Bruno quotes. Oh, yeah, I can! I can't be bothered. Bruno is ready to be our warrior. Yeah, I'm very excited. At this point in my life, I need a new challenge like this. I want to win trophies. I want to make history. And I think I'm at the right place to do it. I'm so excited to start. Bruno is no stranger to our midfield, facing us on numerous occasions since arriving at the Premier League. After many battles in our engine room, the Brazilians have been welcomed by fellow midfielder Declan Rice. He said, right, yeah, we saw the message stuff. In my point of view, Arsenal's midfield is best in Europe. Yeah, we saw that. Every time when I play Arsenal, it was very tough. They keep the ball, they defend. They keep the ball, they defend like one. I think that combination is the way I like to play as well. And of course, joining the winners of the league is always a big opportunity. Oh, mate, we've got that Premier League Champions pool. You absolutely love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, was it here? When I asked what he can bring to the midfield unit, Bruno said, I can pass the ball, run a lot, and play like a warrior. I'll never give up. I will try to help the team. I'm good with the ball, composed, very calm, and sometimes I can score goals. Wait, more than sometimes based off this season. Oh my god. Score goals and hope to make everyone very, very happy here. Bruno's career has been shaped by big moments, winning trophies in Brazil, collecting Olympic gold medal. It's massive what I've done so far. I want more. I want to win for Arsenal. I want to win more trophies in my career, and I think I'm at the right place to do it at my peak of 28 years old. I already talked about the whole age thing and how the criticism is fucking stupid. I want to put my name in the club history someday. Yeah, we read all that. I think it's the best thing that a player can do for the club, create history and inspire the young. Bruno set to become a 17th. I thought it was 16th. Of course, Gilberto Silva, I love him as a player. I had the opportunity before to talk to Gilberto Silva. I hope I can follow his history here and make myself a very good... Well, if he even comes close to Gilberto Silva in terms of his status, it would be a good signing. It means everything to me. I have a tattoo of 39 as well. My father was a taxi driver in Brazil for more than 20 years. We know all that. So when I got the chance to sign for a top club Brazil, I asked my father what number I should take. He said 39. I was a little upset because I wanted to take 97. He said, no, take 39. The 39 gave you everything. I wanted to do a medical. I opened my bag. Number 39 was in there, and I was very scared. I went to the kit man and said, why 39? He said, well, if you don't want it, you can change it. I said, no. It's exactly what I want. Also, what? He didn't even ask for it. At that moment, I called my father. I told him, Dr. Coe said, I told you the number's going to give you luck. Since then, I've always been 39. See, that's really sweet. That's really, really sweet. Well, okay. Sorry about that. That'll do it. Hope you enjoyed. Leave in the comments what your thoughts are about all the various different subjects. I'll probably come out every couple of days and do something like this. And yeah. Oh yeah, we also have Emirates Cup against Dortmund. I'll make a video after that game. And yeah, I mean, it's pre-season, so there's not really much to preview. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Come on, you Gunners.